What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Today we're going to be reacting to Bonfire Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Night. Up until a couple weeks ago, I'd never heard of Bonfire Night before, but I've received a ton of suggestions in the comments telling me that I need to check out this celebration. I don't really know a lot about this. I know that you guys celebrate this on November 5th and that it has something to do with this man named Guy Fawkes, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he tried to blow up something of importance in the 1600s. Beyond that, I really have no clue what the celebration is about, which is why I'm checking this out. But this video is going to have two different reactions in this one video. The first one being kind of to this one because I've scrolled like this through here and it doesn't look like there's any type of, showing of celebration. It looks like this one is going to kind of teach me about the tradition itself, the history behind the Bonfire Night. And then I'm going to check out one that's actually seeing what's happening when people are out actually celebrating Bonfire Night. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get started and check this out. What is Bonfire Night?
Remember the 5th of November. Why? Because it's Bonfire Night.
By the way, I just want to say, I told my wife I'm going to react to Bonfire Night. She said that, remember the 5th of November. So she actually knew something about this. I don't know how she knew that, but okay, cool.
But what is Bonfire Night? Why do we celebrate? How do we celebrate? Bonfire Night was started because of a plot that was foiled back in 1605 on November the 5th. A group of people had been plotting to blow up Parliament.
Oh man.
King James inside. And one of these plotters was called Guy Fawkes. On the 5th of November, he was discovered in the basement of the Houses of Parliament.
Wow.
With a huge barrel full of gunpowder and a fuse ready to be lit. The guard discovered him, arrested him. He was tried and found guilty, after which he was hung, drawn and quartered. A nasty punishment.
Yikes.
In order to celebrate his survival, King James ordered the people of England to light a huge bonfire on the evening of the 5th of November. And that is how Bonfire Night began. Back in the 1600s, Bonfire Night was...
Okay, so you guys are celebrating the fact that someone that was trying to kill the king and blow up Parliament at the same time, it was foiled. Okay, okay.
About politics and religion, and it caused some unrest for many, many years. But these days we've forgotten all of that, and Bonfire Night is all about having fun and social interaction.
Right, okay.
So what will you find in the UK on Bonfire Night? Well, bonfires. Usually there's one big organised event that you can go to where they have a huge bonfire that's kept very safe. Fireworks. There has to be fireworks on Bonfire Night. Of course, it's not fun for the animals. They find it quite nerve-wracking. But for the kiddies and for the families alike, we all enjoy a good fireworks display.
Sure, yeah.
Guy Fawkes. Even though Bonfire Night is no longer about politics, Guy still features in most bonfire nights. Children will enjoy making a huge, life-size Guy out of tights and newspapers and old clothes. And what they would normally do then is throw the guy onto the bonfire and burn him. Which is interesting because the original Guy Fawkes wasn't killed with fire, he was hung, drawn and quartered. And many organised events will also include things like music, rides or funfair types.
So when someone was hung, drawn and quartered, well, obviously I know what being hung means, but drawn and quartered means you're tied to like horses, right? And then you're like torn apart. Oh, but if you're hung first, wouldn't that mean that he was already dead when he was drawn and quartered? If that's what that means, I believe it is.
stalls. You might even find candy floss, toffee apples, alcohol being served. It really is just a chance for families to get together and enjoy a good night out in the fresh air, hopefully when it's not raining. So if you are celebrating Bonfire Night with a little sparkler, a bonfire and some fireworks, then I hope that you have a wonderful time, but remember to stay safe. Until next time, take care.
Wow. Okay. Now it makes sense why there's such huge celebration. Okay. And she explained that very simply. Okay. I remember now seeing some people talk about people also make effigies out of other people, politicians and whatnot, and they also throw them on the fires as well. Is that true? And yeah, guys, this is interesting. Let's go ahead and check out the actual celebration now that we know what what it's about with the history, guys. So let's go ahead and check out Lewes Bonfire, Britain's most dangerous Guy Fawkes celebration. This title really grabbed my attention. Britain's most dangerous Guy Fawkes celebration. I'm not sure exactly what is so dangerous about it. I'm guessing it has something to do with all the fires and whatnot, but I guess we'll find out. Let's go ahead and check this out.
I'm a burning effigy of everything I used to be. You're my rock of empathy, my dear. Those iconic words sung in 1997 by Robbie Williams. But the effigies tonight are of a different variety. I'm here in Lewes for Bonfire Night.
Lewes, a market town in East Sussex, is usually pretty quiet. But when the sun goes down on November the 5th, the shop windows are boarded up and the streets fill with costumed revelers.
Seriously? Wow.
And then they start setting fire to stuff. But who are these people? And why are they setting everything on fire?
The whole of Sussex is the heart of Bonfire, but Lewes is the heart of the heart for Bonfire.
Wow.
There's 7 societies, they're all affiliated with different pubs.
The different societies all have different colours. That identifies them. And each group have different things, like Cliff have got Vikings and French revolutionaries. And we're the only group who still burn the Pope.
Cliff Bonfire Society have been burning an effigy of Pope Paul V in Lewes since the 19th century. Paul V was Pope at the time of the Catholic-led gunpowder plot to assassinate the Protestant King James I. And although he didn't really have anything to do with it, he still gets set on fire every single year. But that's enough history for now. There's burning to be done.
So it's early at the moment. What can we expect later?
So we've got the bound run to start off with. That's going to be kicking off at about 5:30, which is just some of the ladies, some of the gents having a race from here down to Cliff Bridge with tar barrels, with a bit of smoke and a bit of fire.
What are these for? I mean, is this barrels of fire? Wow.
And then we carry the crosses down representing the 17 Protestant martyrs.
Wow.
The most significant part of the evening for me will always be the tributes up at the War Memorial. We all pay our respects to the fallen.
Rain or shine, I guess, huh? Well, not shine, but rain or dry. Wow. This looks like a lot of fun.
Behind me here is a procession for the Cliff Bonfire Society, and they're going to go over to their bonfire site soon. But earlier on, they had 17 flaming crosses, which may seem like a bit of a cause for concern for most people. But these crosses are for the Protestant martyrs that were murdered by Mary I in what was the largest bonfire of people in the history of England. So there is a reason for
Mary the First. Okay. I've got to look. Is that who we know as Bloody Mary? Okay. I think that I don't know much about that, but that's what I'm guessing. I need to look her up
all of this.
And And then we were on to the pièce de résistance, the highlight of the evening for many, the bonfire.
Wow. That's
So
going
we're
to
at
be
the site of the Cliff
huge.
Bonfire, and I'm here with Andy, who's been coming to bonfires here in Lewes for 30 years. What can we expect from a typical bonfire?
Well, a lot of heat and the effigies, political and otherwise, which has been
okay.
a social scenario and needs to be addressed.
No prizes for guessing who is the biggest effigy of the night.
Is that Boris? I believe it's Boris Johnson.
Flaming
right?
torches were hurled to light the bonfire. But across the way, lit fireworks were being flung at a man on a podium. This isn't another anti-papal demonstration, is it?
So are you a pope or are you an archbishop?
No, I'm most definitely not a pope. I'm an archbishop. I'm a bit of a firework nut, as you can tell. I like to be in there. I'm a gardener. I live a very flat life, right?
Yeah.
Tonight is my adrenaline.
I saw you up there at the
Wow.
platform,
Yeah.
batting away fireworks. It was absolutely amazing.
So I get up there, and I it's important that I remind people why we're here and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And they just want to get on with the fireworks. Say, what's this blooming bloke doing up there on that scaffolding?
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. But it's it's an old tradition. It's gone on for years, you know.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute privilege to be up there and have fireworks thrown at me.
So there you have it. That is the end of Lewes Bonfire Night. Bonfire. They had about 4 or 5 effigies there. The Jacob Rees-Mogg, the Boris Johnson. They had the Pope looking like he did the most fire DJ set of 2019. It was absolutely amazing. I've never seen so many fireworks, and I'm kind of freaked out by it. But it's class.
Wow. That's so cool. I've never heard a Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes until, well, the last couple of weeks, off and on in the comments. I had no idea who he was, what it was about. I'm glad I checked these videos out because now I know. But wow, it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys heard of Burning Man in the US. It reminds me of a combination of Burning Man, July 4th, what am I thinking? Halloween, because people were dressing up. And I actually saw comments saying that this was kind of like this was a bigger deal than Halloween in Britain. And I can see why. It's got a lot more meaning behind it. Halloween has tradition. There's many different traditions that go into it. But today it really doesn't mean too much. People just celebrate it because they can dress up and stuff. This actually still has meaning behind it. It actually is celebrating a big deal in history of the British people. So it makes sense that it's a big deal. Wow. I thought this was pretty cool. I'd love to go to this. I'm going to keep that in mind. If I can get to the UK around November at some point, I would definitely go to this. And so I know there's got to be multiple bonfire nights going on all over the UK. Although technically I'm not really sure considering this was more of an England deal, I'm not sure if they celebrate it in Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland. But I'm guessing maybe. I'm not really sure. Do they? But either way, I know at least all over England, there's probably all sorts of bonfire celebrations going on. But the Lewes one seems like a pretty good one to go to. I still don't really get what they were saying about dangerous. It didn't really. I could see how it could be dangerous, if you're holding these fireworks or get them thrown at you at the wrong time and things like that. The fire in general obviously is going to be kind of dangerous, but they didn't really, show the full-on dangerous part. But anyway, I thought this was cool, guys. I'll have to check out more videos about this at some point. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments and suggestions for this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to join me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.